Hi, welcome to the Gardening Corner at Pinehurst. I'm Vicki and we're going to talk about getting rid of weeds. And anything can be a weed if it's growing where you don't want it to grow. And I'm going to talk about the products that you can use to do that. You know, you can always dig it out, but you want to a lot of times you have to make sure you get the root and all when you dig it, because lots of things come back from the roots, like grasses, dandelions. If you just dig the top part off, the root will grow again. And thistles, there's lots of weeds. Most weeds really do grow that way. We'll talk about the products first, and then we'll talk about where to use them the most effectively. First of all, when you're dealing with herbicides, there are some that are selective, meaning that they only kill one product. We have selective that only kills grass. We have selective that only kills broadleaf weeds, like dandelions and weeds that are not grasses. And then we also have a product that is selective, non-selective, and it kills everything. And we'll talk about that one first. We carry Kills-All, and it is a product that is non-selective. So anything you spray that on that's green and growing, it will kill. And how it works is it goes through the foliage down into the plant's root system and kills the plant, root and all. And that's a very effective one. It comes in a couple of different formulations. We have the regular one, and we have one that's extended control. It's got a pre-emergent in it. We'll talk about those in a minute. And it will kill what's growing there, and it won't let anything grow back. Then we have one that's called total vegetation control. That is one you want to be careful with. You only want to use that where you don't want anything to grow. And it's going to have a long-lasting effect. That might be in a driveway or along a road somewhere that you don't want anything to come back for a whole year. Then we go to selective. Now these products are selective, and they only kill grass. We have over the top grass killer. You have to mix that with sticker spreader. If you've ever noticed grass, especially quackgrass, it's really fuzzy. The leaf has got fuzz on it, and so the water's repelled. So when you mix this with that, it makes that suck into that green foliage of that grass. And it goes through the grass, down into the root system, and kills the whole thing. The other one we have is Grass Be Gone, and this is a similar product that it is ready to use. You don't have to mix this. And this little bottle makes a lot of product. Both of those work really good. The thing about a grass control like that, it takes a long time to work, especially in cool temperatures. So when you use it, you want to use it when the grass is just coming up and it's not really aged and hard, but it's kind of that tender new growth. That's when it works the best. And it works slower in cool weather. But if you have quackgrass that's up 2 feet, it probably is not going to work very good on that. You might want to cut that down and let it come up again, and as it comes up, spray it. So that is that. The other thing about your grass, sometimes if it's been there a while, it might be dusty. Maybe we had a dust storm and there's dust on the grass. I would wash that off before you spray anything on it to kill it. So that is a selective. Then we come to another selective. This one is weed-free zone. This kills broadleaf. And this has 2,4-D in it, but it also has some stronger stuff in it, and it works really good. This will take care of morning glory. You may have to give it more than one application. Morning glory is really kind of hard to take, to get under control. If you've got a lot of it, pull it all out. Just pull all the vines off and throw them in the garbage. And then as the new emerges, it comes up in a little cluster, from the roots, and it kind of looks like lettuce coming up. And if you spray it right then, that is a good time to get it under control. If it's vining all over your grass or your soil, you've got to get rid of it. You just don't want to spray that whole thing, but get rid of it, and then start fresh spraying when it comes out of the ground. But that works good on morning glory, works good on thistle, works great on dandelions. I think, it's been my experience, I think a broadleaf weed control like this one in particular works better than Kills All, which kills everything, but I think this does a better job with your broadleaf weeds. We have it in several different formulas. This is a concentrate you mix. This is a hose and go. You hook it onto your hose and it sprays right out the end. This is a ready to use. If you don't have a lot of dandelions, this is the thing to do, because just walk around your yard and just kill each individual dandelion if you don't have a big problem. And you won't have to do that very often, but that's what I recommend. This is also a ready to use. It comes with a pump, and that's easy to use. You just have to squirt it out of that. But those are really good products. These work faster. This product works faster than 2,4-D by itself. 2,4-D the thing would just grow itself to death. These will top kill as well as bottom kill. It goes clear through the plant, root and all, and that plant will not come back. But you can tell in just a few days that you've used this product. It'll act like it's been gone. But those are the main things. You have to be paying attention to where you're spraying it and what you're trying to control. The over the top and the grass be gone, the nice thing about that is if you have grass growing in your rose bushes, in your raspberry bushes, in your strawberries or your ground cover, you can spray this right over the top of those things and it will only kill the grass. And sometimes when you try to dig it out, it propagates by roots. So if you dig it out and you chop the roots out, or sometimes people just try to rototill it in, well, they've cut the roots off up in many little pieces, and then you're going to have a lot of grass come back then. So that's not a good idea. The other thing we have are pre-emergents. And pre-emergents work because they don't let any seed germinate. And they're really handy, and they'll save you a lot of time. They're more of a preventative thing. And this is the time of year we're using that. If you're using it in a vegetable garden, we've got weed and grass stopper with Trefland. That is the only pre-emergent that is registered to use in a vegetable garden. So that's a great product. You put that on and you're not going to have a lot of this stuff come back. The next thing we've got is this is turf and ornamental weed and grass stopper. That has dimension in it. This works really good for grass coming from seed or your broadleaf seeds. So that's a good one. Then we've got Gallery, and Gallery is one that works really good for broadleaf weeds. You can use, and then we've got Casseron, we'll talk about that in a minute. But either one of these two, you can use in your flower beds, you can use them in your shrub beds, you can use it anywhere that you don't want weeds coming up. Like if you've got bark or gravel, you can use this in that area, and then you'd have to wash it down into the ground, but that will help in that instance. The Gallery lasts longer. That lasts about 9 months, and the Dimension lasts about 4 months. Then we have Casseron. Casseron is a really strong one. It's a mild soil sterilant. It lasts for a full year. And where you want to use Casseron, you can only use that on woody shrubs and trees. And that would be like something that has a woody stem, like rose bushes. This is also registered to use on raspberries. But if you get the weeds cleaned out and put this on, you're not going to get anything coming up there for a year. When you're using any of these, especially casseron, you need to really pay attention to where you're using it and what you're going to want to plant there later. You can only use casseron in a bed that the plants have been planted for at least 2 months and they're established. You can't go back in there and add annuals or perennials to that area. It's just going to be shrubs. But we have another one. This is called Weed Impede, and it is a spray. This works really great on a driveway because it comes out orange. You can tell where you've sprayed it, or in a lot where you have soil and you just don't want anything to grow there all season. But this works really good, and it's a liquid, and it's pretty easy to apply. But those are the things that we have to use to get our weeds under control. And the most important thing is when you're thinking about this is, where am I going to use this? Am I using it in a vegetable garden? Am I using it in a flower bed? Or if I'm trying to control something in my lawn? And one thing we have a lot is people come in with, they say they have crabgrass, but we don't really have crabgrass here. We have quackgrass here. And the difference between the two is crabgrass is a annual, and it comes up, grows, dies, and comes back from seed. So it'd be easy to control that with a pre-emergent. But what we have is quackgrass, and it's a perennial, just like your bluegrass or what you're growing in your yard. So if you kill that grass, you're going to kill your good grass too. But if you have a spot of bad grass in your yard, you could use the Killzall, and you could spray in that area and just kill that clump of grass. Make sure it's dead, dig it out, and then put in a new patch of sod or seed in that area. You might have to add some soil to bring it up so it's not in a divot. But it's really easy if you have the right product in the right area. And in a garden, in a vegetable garden, if you're going to use any kind of weed control, you want to make sure that it is an organic. And we do have an organic spray for weeds that you can use in the garden too. So just pay attention to where you're using it. Always follow the directions. Anytime you're using a product with 2,4-D, you don't want to use it if it's over 85 degrees, because the 2,4-D in this product volatilizes and goes up into the air as a gas. So if you just sprayed your lawn and there's a tree in your lawn, and this goes up and this gas will get on that tree, and then you'll have some herbicide damage. So you want to be careful about that. But these are just some of the products that we use just to make your life easier, because weeds, you can get a handle on the weeds, and it's better to be preventative with them. But we have a full line of products here, and we have a staff that's more than happy to help you. If you come in, we can get you on the right track and get you going with the right product. So happy gardening, and have a great season.